I want you to show me.
I want news on wrestling. Do.
I don't know the rest of the song.
I don't know.
I want to feel what news is. Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, we probably can't use that one.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to your hashtag Good Afternoons, brought to you by myself, Adam Clery, and it's Adam Nicholas. Say hello, Adam Nicholas.
Hello, Adam Nicholas.
Coming up for you today, we've got all your usual slices of either mid-afternoon or early morning, depending on what side of the Atlantic you are on. Wrestling goodness, including a former WWE Women's Champion officially hanging up her shoes.
Insert word here,
Yeah.
I guess. Brock Lesnar's TV dates after Smackdown premiere have been revealed.
Impact has a new slot on the AXS network.
WWE are set to make an announcement about 205 Live's future.
This is good afternoon. We still need one for that. This
do,
is
we
whatever.
do.
Coming up for you first. Sasha Banks is injured again.
Dun dun da da da.
She's all right though. She's only burst her lip this week on Monday Night Raw and posted this photo to her Instagram, illustrating the severity of her injury. Obviously leaning into the heel element of that somewhat by saying, "Vince, get me the best doctor," because, well, she's a heel and this is what I was exaggerating the nature of the industry. But from what we can ascertain during her match against Nikki Cross on Monday Night Raw, I think I've studied the footage. I think it happens here.
You spent a while studying
Nikki
that footage.
Cross crossbodies Sasha Banks. Kind of
Crossbody.
catches her on the face a bit. Then after that, Bayley starts like rooting around on her, sort of looking at her face. And I was like, what's she doing that for? It looks like Nikki Cross has caught her a bit on the face, possibly with, I don't know, a belt buckle or something, and has burst the inside of her lip. For the rest of the match, Bayley, bless her, kept checking on it to make sure she was
okay.
Checking what the blood flow was like. But yes, they got through the match, no problems whatsoever. In fact, even came back out to work a dark match after the whole Fiend Bray Wyatt thing had happened at the end of the night. So yes, Sasha Banks injured again.
Dun dun da da da.
Which is going to be absolutely fine by the looks of it. That's all we've got on that.
That lower trumpet noise was good. That.
Do you want a joke? I prepared a joke for this.
Come on.
Have you ever seen the tattoo?
I've had one in my head that
Have you seen the picture of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the tattoo Sasha Banks has got on the inside of her lip? It says protect.
Right.
Didn't do a very good job, did it?
Well, I like a good awkward pause as long as anybody, but I was trying to got the lip on, and the fact that she'd. Moving on, Brock Lesnar's TV dates after the Smackdown premiere that we're all set to see him on.
I thought that was good, that.
That was, yeah, well, yeah, you thought it. That's good. As long as you thought it, that's the main thing. His TV dates have been revealed. Obviously, we all know he's going to be on the Smackdown premiere where he will be facing against Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. And we say against, what we mean is taking it off him like a small child. And it should be fun. It's been a good run for Kofi.
He's gonna flush Kofi Kingston's head.
He's gonna rip him open faster than a bag of crisps. He's done. He's donezo. Not happening. Sorry, Kofi. I hope I'm wrong. But in the meantime, you can relax because it won't be the only time that Brock will be on TV. It's not like he's going to run off with the belt because according to Joshua, I want to say Gagnon is in the French spelling, but it could be Gagnon as well from Wrestling Inc. He seems to believe that Brock Lesnar has booked in some more dates, including October the 11th, October 25th, and November 15th, all which are notably Smackdowns, of course, because potentially that's where you've got to be if you've just won the big belt on Smackdown. Now, more notably, do you know what lands in between all of those dates?
Christmas.
No. Try again.
New Year. My birthday.
No. I don't know.
I'm
Maybe.
out of ideas.
None of those things, but it is October the 31st. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, Halloween, no party. No. Crown Jewel happens on October the 31st.
This month.
So it's almost like, next month.
Next month.
Almost as if Brock Lesnar is going to, I don't know, win the belt off Kofi Kingston, keep a hold of it for a month, and then defend it at Crown Jewel because somebody, aka The Sheik and his pals, would like to see him on their pay-per-view. So get ready for that. That should be good. Fun. Look, cheer up, mate.
It's all right. Like, this is good news for Fox. Obviously, they want the big stars on their big new program. There's always Brock Lesnar, one of the biggest acquisitions that SmackDown was going to make on Fox. So yes, this does all fit with that. We do thoroughly expect him to be taking that belt off Kofi Kingston on that first show. But it's a bit of a weird one for me, this, because that Smackdown is the go-home show for Hell in a Cell.
Correct.
Now, you'd imagine that the main event of that SmackDown is going to be Kofi versus Brock.
Lead into that.
So then that's the end of the show. So then how do you book the match for Hell in a Cell after that?
maybe there's a screwy finish. Like,
oh, we all love those.
That sounds about
those,
right, doesn't it? What I will say is, I popped my little breasticles off when Brock Lesnar turned up on Smackdown the other day.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting it, and I tell you what, whether you like him, you hate him, you love him, or you just want to give him something that will make him be less red, you can't deny he's still a draw.
Redneck Thanos, as big an excitement as he always has been. He's
Absolutely.
Brock's Brock at the end of the day, isn't he? But anyway, speaking of screwy
Brock
finishes...
is Brock. That's very accurate. Speaking of
go back to
screwy
you
finishes...
first. Yeah, speaking of screwy finishes, one finish that has not been in any way screwy is that of the career of Victoria.
Hello.
Former WWE Women's Champion,
I thought
former
you
TNA
meant
star.
Korea as in the country.
No.
There you
Her
go.
wrestling career. She's
Good.
retired this weekend. I've got the details here. She
you have.
competed in a match against Melina at the Masters of the Ring Entertainment Show in what she then revealed was going to be her final ever match inside the ring. That's a nice one. She wrote this really nice message on her Instagram, which I'll read to you thusly. I know I normally do really good impressions.
Yeah, maybe
but
not.
I don't know what Victoria sounds like, so I'm not even trying.
Okay.
As at the real Kurt Angle said, "Oh, it's true. It's damn true. Thank you, Masters of Ring Entertainment, for main eventing my final match this past Saturday. It's such an honour leaving the ring as the Women's Masters of the Ring Entertainment Champion. Thank you at Real Melina, at Terry Runnels, and at TrishStratus.com for sharing this moment with me. Don't be sad for me. Be happy for me. I had an awesome 20-year run. I love you all so very much. I appreciate all of your support and your loyalty." That's nice. Bowing out as a champion at the top of the game, and by the sounds of it, Terry and Trish were there as well, so that's nice.
And also, I just think it's nice that, Victoria has had a good career. She was obviously quite important when it comes to women's wrestling back in the day. And I think it's nice that people are still remembering that she's actually still kicking around and actually giving monkeys about this, because it's a big deal.
She's from that age of women's wrestling where WWE categorically did not give a hoot about the actual women in the women's division or the wrestling in the women's division, and yet still people like her managed to kind of pull together a reasonable product out of all of that.
Pushed for these opportunities.
Yeah, they might not have got anywhere near the opportunities that like your Sashas, your Beckys, your Charlottes, your Baileys get now, but they tried. They did genuinely try to make women's wrestling a thing back when WWE just wanted leering upskirt shots of them.
I think they let the voices be heard in a time when that wasn't necessarily something that was
a pioneer, let's
done.
say. All the best, Victoria, for whatever it is you're doing next. Speaking of doing next, what are we doing next?
Well, what are we doing next? We're talking about something that could be joining a brand that is abbreviation of the word next. How about that? For a weird segue. I don't even know how we got there.
But the Kings of the Link.
The Kings of the Link. That's we need like a little... Anyway, we're getting sidetracked again. The Kings of the bloody tangent should be more appropriate. However, WWE have apparently, potentially, maybe going to announce the future, or what is going to be happening in the near future with 205 Live. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of speculation regarding 205 Live after Triple H was on a conference call where essentially he said there was no plans for the actual brand at the moment, but he could potentially see it being consolidated into NXT.
Folded in.
The whole universe, the WWE, that one that is, then proceeded to fold in on itself, talking in speculation about what might happen. He said for not to panic, they would be having a chat about it in the near future. Well, according to Wrestling Observer's Brian Alvarez, who has speculated in a tweet, and obviously we say this speculation, but he's obviously a guy a bit more in the know, a little bit more in the know than you and I, has speculated that 205 Live announcement will probably be happening in the next 24 to 48 hours. That was yesterday, although I don't know what exactly the time of it.
So in the next
24 to 48 hours, we will know potentially the future of 205 Live. Now, interestingly, I think 205 Live, the match we saw, I don't know if any of you watched. There's this thing that happened last week where NXT was on TV on the USA Network. There was a match on there between Oni Lorcan and between Leo Rush, and the winner of that match would get the shot against the Cruiserweight Championship. Forgot the name of the title there for a second. That might suggest to me that could be a tie-in match, potentially, to see those brands come together and find a way for putting it on that show. 205 Live is a show that is good, but it doesn't get the right amount of attention and probably isn't in the right slot. However, with NXT being a 2-hour-long show, I think one thing that most critics noted from last week was the first hour was excellent. The second hour felt like a half an hour show being stretched over a 1 hour slot.
It's an interesting one, this, because the audience for 205 Live, and indeed the wrestlers in it, are far much more suited to the NXT crowd.
Absolutely.
It's a small audience, you get more time to do your stuff on TV, until it's moved to the USA Network. When it was on the WWE Network, it wasn't kind of broken up by adverts. It was a good place for wrestling, and it was great. Some of the storylines they did were excellent, some of the matches they had were excellent, but nobody was watching it. They were filming in front of dead crowds after tapings of the main roster, and it does feel like a really natural fit for this to move it onto the NXT product, especially if that's going to be on television. But I was thinking about this today, literally today, and you've got a 2-hour show in that case, right? Let's say they just move all the cruiserweights, they move the championship, they move all of 205 onto NXT, right? Give it a chunk of that. You've got the NXT Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, the NXT Tag Team Championship, the NXT North American Championship. 5 titles for a 2-hour show is a lot.
And you're considering they could also include in those the NXT UK men and women's titles, because they have been known to frequent across the brands and the tag team belts. So
that's a lot of championships for one thing, but you wouldn't want to see it consolidated in either. It's almost... I love the North American Championship. I think I love the design of the belt. I love the matches it's had. I love the way they've booked the programs around it. But you think if they knew this was going to be in the pipeline, would have maybe made more sense for the Cruiserweight Championship to be NXT's mid-card title. Now,
well, I don't think they did though. Did that's the problem?
Exactly, they couldn't possibly have done. So now they've got. I don't know what to do. Possibly. Ultimately, the long-term goal should be to fold 205 Live into NXT. You know what I mean? Put those wrestlers on that.
I would imagine divide them. I think the smarter move would potentially, I know they need people on that. There's already a lot of people on that roster, in the NXT roster. They've got a big roster. Splitting them across NXT and the main roster, while it may prove detrimental to quite a few talents, might be the smarter of the moves, in my opinion.
They could always just build it up somewhere down the line where at a takeover they have a unification match for the North American title and Cruiserweight title.
Well, this is it. This is it. You could have somebody win the belt on this potential run we're seeing, Leo Rush or whatever, and then have a unification match. Who knows? Because, I mean, a lot of people would. Yeah, the talent is there. And a lot of people, ironically, we're talking about more belts coming in, maybe on NXT UK. A lot of cry out for the European title to come back, which I think would be lovely, and would like to see Cesaro wear forever. But I digress. That doesn't help our current situation.
Speaking of things moving, this kind of works.
Good.
Impact, as you all know, is now on Access TV. They were bought out by the parent company, or the parent company bought Access TV. So they're talking about moving them there. A bigger audience, a more reliable channel. A channel which already has an existing catalogue of combat sports. It has New Japan and I think Women of Wrestling.
Okay.
So they've moved on to there, but there is finally an announcement from Impact about when they're going to be moving and precisely what they're going to be showing. So, the official statement reads, beginning in late October, Impact Wrestling will air Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Access TV. Now, that's sort of true. That is the headline here.
Sort of true.
It's sort of true. It gets quite complicated from here because what they're going to do is they're going to debut in the time slot starting on Tuesday the 22nd with a preview special. Not actually airing a show, but airing a preview special. And the following Tuesday, the 29th, will be their official launch date. They will also be having, Homecoming on October the 1st, Rebellion on October the 8th, and Slammiversary on October the 25th, as well as a recap for Bound for Glory. The show is going to remain at 2 hours, though. They have also announced that.
Okay.
So there you go.
And in the meantime, Sami Callihan of Impact Wrestling will be trying to get his mitts on
Simon Gallagher.
Well, that's news to me, because I thought he was going to get his mitts on Simon Miller. But who knows?
God, yeah. Wow, it's been a long day this one, hasn't it?
It has been a long day. Go have a quick drink of that. He needs it. He needs it. Get it in, yeah, bro.
Really cold.
Oh, good.
Really cold.
Cold tea. Stone cold.
Stone cold, Steve Austin. Anyway, that was the news for today.
Wow.
Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to buy Michael Sidgwick's book. How many times do I have to tell you?
I'm going to get it again.
I'm
going to be consistent and grab the book. Where is it this time?
I don't know. I put it back on the shelf, I think. Down there. Right, so, long story short, we published this book about a year and a half ago. The developmental hell, the NXT story. It details the whole story of the gold and black brand from when they killed the territories to then when they realised, oh God, there's nobody coming through to kind of get into WWE anymore. So they've built up all these different territories, Ohio Valley, Florida Championship, and eventually it all became NXT. It's the entire story of the thing. Michael Sidgwick wrote this book and it did so well, it sold out in, I think, under a month. And we were like, oh well.
Under a minute.
That's the end of that. And then we hired loads of editors and whatnot the other day, and we were moving some desk space around and found 2 boxes. And within the 2 boxes was a few copies of these, so we are trying to resell them because we didn't know we had them, and we do also desperately need the space. Most of them went when we plugged it on yesterday's news show, but if you still want one, there are a handful of them left. We have discounted them by 20% from £10 to $8. You can get them at shop.whatculture or in the link that will be in the description. It is genuinely really, really good. Michael Sidgwick is a genius, and you should read all of his work wherever you can get your hands on it. But yes, as I say, that has been the news. Let us know what you made of it all in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Where can they get you on Twitter?
Just wanted to say before I give you my handle, Michael Sidgwick has kids, so you know,
He
buy
got
that book.
kids.
He's got kids, like Heath Slater. Buy his book. It's a fantastic read. You can find me on Twitter at It's Adam Nicholas, where I apparently will be promoting people who have children and they need to get money for those kids. Where can they find you, Adam Clery?
Adam Clery, Clery. The entire WhatCulture wrestling family available to you at WhatCulture WWE. But in the meantime, as I say, thank you so much for watching. This has been your hashtag Good Afternoons, and we will see you soon.